on desire and the origins of men. No matter how intelligent, how brilliant a man is, he will eventually fall before a woman. Seriously, have you ever wondered why? When I think about this, I'm reminded of a great saying: great people are all born from women. Perhaps that's why men, no matter how clever, must eventually yield to the fairer sex. We all come from one place, the first origin of every human being. As we grow, it seems we all tend to seek that origin. That place is the beginning of all life, but it can also be the graveyard of many a man's career. After all, if we were born unnaturally from a laboratory or a cloud, there would be no story to tell. Hello, all you studious little flowers. I know some people say that those who preach morality often don't live by it. Today, I just want to sit down and share with you what I've seen and what I've experienced. These are just my personal observations, not a lecture for anyone. When I talk about the word desire, many people only think of something intimate, but that's just a very small part of it. To me, desire is broader. It's the urge to have or to let go of something. When a desire is unfulfilled, we feel suffering. Maybe you've felt this, wanting a new phone but not having enough money, or wanting to escape a toxic relationship but being unable to. I realize that if we don't understand and control our desires, they become the master, and we become the servant. Whatever it commands, we do. I often tell this story to my friends. My workshop is mostly male, so sometimes I notice the guys are sluggish. I tried hiring a few female student interns for a temporary period. After just a short time, the men's productivity doubled, even tripled. They worked with great energy, sweating, muscles bulging. I know what they were fantasizing about, but that's a natural biological mechanism in men, and it's very hard to control. That's why we need to practice self-discipline to control our desires. Otherwise, a thought is immediately followed by an action. I admit sometimes I still crave things, but luckily others out there crave more. Good food, nice clothes, wealth, fame, or a crowd of girls. The greater the desire, the more restless and uncomfortable we feel when it's not met. The world we live in is called the desire realm, or koitaba, where desires reign. Desire is like fire. If we know how to control it, we can use it to cook our food. If we can't control it, it will burn us, leading us into a sea of suffering. So how do we escape suffering? To me, it's not about eradicating desire, but about learning to control and master it. To do that, I've set my own rules for myself. I've also realized that desires are not as important as I once thought, and that accepting things that don't go as planned is a part of life. On fate and karma lately, I've been thinking about this question. Is fate real? If so, who arranged it? God, Buddha, or some other force? Why are some people rich and others poor? Is there injustice from a higher power? I believe that fate isn't arranged by anyone, because if everything were already set, then who would bother to try and strive? We'd all just give up. I believe in the theory of reincarnation. Our souls have gone through countless lives. This body is only temporary, but the soul exists eternally. It finds a new body to be reborn into, to continue the cycle of the six realms, Luanhui Six Tao. We are reborn into many different lives, sometimes as a dog, an ox, a billionaire, or a beggar. Sometimes we are condemned to a Vici, and sometimes we are a celestial being. Where does this cycle come from? From our actions. When we do good, we accumulate merit. When we do evil, we sow karma. All of this is stored in the Alaya Vijnana. In other words, we ourselves are creating our own fate. Fortune tellers, tarot readers, or astrologers are like weather forecasters. They might see what's coming, but we are the ones who create that weather. And the great thing is, we can completely change it. There's a folk saying, merit can overcome fate. Duknang Tang So. If we did evil in a past life, that evil karma might make us poor in this life. But if we actively do good, our merit will make up for the bad karma, helping us improve our destiny. In my opinion, the more merit we accumulate, the more meaningless the prophecies of bad fortune become. This doesn't mean the prophecy was wrong, but that our merit helped us escape the misfortune. To avoid evil, it's best not to do evil, or if you can't, do a lot of good to make up for it. Just live kindly, harm no one, and always respect everyone. That's how I take control of my life. On compassion and self-love. When we talk about compassion, most people only think of showing sympathy to others. But I've realized that's only half the story. The core of compassion is having compassion for all living beings, including family, friends, enemies, and most importantly, ourselves. In my view, we often forget about our own selves. Speaking of compassion for oneself, I'm reminded of a story from my college days. My girlfriend once asked me, if you could only earn enough for 2 meals in the future, what would you do? Like in a typical romantic movie, I was supposed to say, one for you, one for our child, I'm not hungry. But no, I'm not a romantic movie character. I said, I'll divide those 2 meals into 4 parts, one for each person. I'll save the rest to get me through the morning at work. She wasn't happy. She thought I was greedy and didn't want to give my share to my wife and child. But I thought, if I'm hungry, how can I have the strength to keep providing for my family? Eating an extra portion wasn't for me. It was for the whole family. I explained it that way, but things ended anyway. I'm not greedy, Lynn, you know? I apply this mindset to everything. Once my child had to go to the emergency room, my wife was on call, and I had to take our child with my mother-in-law. After the doctor said our child was stable, I went to get something to eat. My wife video called and saw me eating, and she got angry and said I was heartless. Our child is sick, and you're living it up, Chefun? I said, I already determined that our child was likely going to be admitted. I need a full stomach to have the strength to take care of our child all night. It makes sense, right? If you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of anyone else? It might sound egoistic, but that's the foundation of altruism. When I started my first job, I didn't have a habit of working overtime. My boss asked me why. I said I need to rest to recover so I can work more efficiently tomorrow. If you want me to keep working, that's fine, but then you'll have to let me take tomorrow morning off. We're working on a win-win basis, not a burnout basis. Kid. I've realized that we often say, I'm doing this for him, I'm doing this for her, but we forget about ourselves. Compassion is limited by the separation between me and you. When I understood this, I stopped getting angry when my parents did things I didn't agree with. I know they're just doing the best they can with their own understanding. In short, to live with compassion, especially for myself, I always remember a few things. Accept past mistakes without self-reproach, don't blame myself for not doing better, and don't think I'm sacrificing for anyone, because when you take care of yourself, you are also taking care of those around you.